Hello, it is week 2 and I've got another video in store for you today. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. If you're here for a second time, wow, thank you ever so much. As you can see, I am down here at the coast, at the Kent coast this morning, taking in some lovely, lovely beach weather, although it's a little bit chilly. It is a little bit chilly. So Neil, get on with it. Why are we out here today? What are we doing? To keep things simple, I came here about 6 months ago, captured one of my favourite images from 2022. However, there were things I did not like about it. I thought, okay, there's improvements that I can make, and that's what we're here to do. I thought I'd bring you along with me, share the experience. Let's get cracking. Time out. I'm back in the warmth and comfort of my own home. Let me show you that original shot just quickly. I'll quickly explain what I dislike about it, what I'm looking to change, and then we'll head straight back out onto location. Don't get me wrong, I do love this shot. It's one of my favourites from 2022. It's precisely why I've rushed back to shoot it again so soon after taking the original shot. The edit came out beautifully, in my opinion, especially with these washed out colours that you kind of know that I love to go for. What I dislike though is the fact that the boat is just a bit too high for my liking in the scene. I've managed to keep it to within the rule of thirds as a composition, but I do have a very, very pedantic approach to cropping. I just have this certain aspect ratio that I do like to stick to. And for balance, wanted to keep the horizon on the top vertical, as you can see here. But then the trouble is the boat itself is placed too high on the vertical. And I think I'd much prefer it if the boat itself was placed a lot lower in the actual scene. There was a second shot that I shot that very same day, but in this instance I find that too much of the boat is on show, especially the insides of the boat, as you can see here, and is maybe even too low in the scene for my liking. It's probably a sign that I do try to be too much of a perfectionist as a photographer. The changes are going to be minimal, but that's basically the aim today, to get the boat in a better placement, slightly lower in the scene, but not too low for that final shot. So here we are then. I'm not going to lie, I was walking along the beach just a minute ago and I thought to myself, oh God, the boat's gone. It's the trouble when shooting movable objects, isn't it? It's easy when you're shooting a building, you know it's likely to be there. But things like boats, cars, anything movable, and of course one day you can be certain that you can shoot it. The next day, next week, next month, you can show up and it'd be gone. But thankfully, as I approached along the beach, I could just see the boat still in the position that it was the last time I visited, which is perfect for me shooting today. So the plan again is simple. I've got 3 composition ideas initially to think about. So what I'll do is, again, I'll get the live view up and you can watch me talk you through those 3 compositions, and then once I'm happy with where I want to shoot, I'll talk you through that final composition and I'll talk you through the settings, and we'll get this image shot right this time. It might not be perfect. Once again, we've got lovely blue skies to enjoy today. It's a little bit too clear. We don't have any cloud, we don't have any atmosphere in the sky, so again, already there's little things that I'm not completely happy with. To be honest, no image will ever really be perfect, will it? It's impossible to get that perfect shot. So you deal with the conditions you get, and if you can come back in the future and grab it even better the next time, then even better. Hopefully one day I'll come along maybe I'll have to get up really early, really early. Already got up at 5 o'clock this morning to come here. Hopefully we'll get a sunrise that comes over my left, my right shoulder, your left. Hopefully we'll get a sunrise coming over in that direction, which will of course give us some beautiful atmospheric light. But I think it's something like 10 o'clock in the morning now, so we're not going to get that. But we deal with the conditions we got. We deal with the condition we've got. So here we go then. Live view activated. Image number 1. This is the first composition I really want to go for. It's a nice low down, or I'm thinking about the nice low down shot. Get the houses out of the way over onto the right. What we want to do though is bring the camera around so that the groins disappear off into the sea just here. We've got the boat nice and low. It's almost hidden a little bit by the long grass, where it almost just appears out of the land. Fortunately, I'm not too big a fan though of the side shot. The second shot that we're going for is a nice head on, and this is similar to the original that we went for. I love how you've got the groin that again just leads off. It's almost like one of 3 leading lines here, leads off into the sea. You've got the chain of the, where's my finger? There it is. You've got the chain that just leads towards the boat, and then you've got a little bit of path. You've got a little bit of pathway just here again, just leads you into the boat itself. That's my favourite. And then we've got this lovely little bit of light just here, just shining onto the boat itself. Beautiful, beautiful. The tide's coming nicely as well, so there's not too much. Low tide, I think this would look awful because you just don't have enough motion almost in the background. And then the third composition, let me hop over here. Hopefully you can still see me on shot. And it's something a bit like this. Again, if we come quite low down, let's come low down first of all. You'll see, of course, the boat just appears this time, just the other side of the groin. So again, it's a bit more of a mystery shot, a bit like last week in some ways. Like I said, I do like the mystery shot. See it just appear just over the other side of the wood. And of course you've got the groin that then just leads down to sea, and you've got this light, this beautiful light that's just hitting the wood from the sun. They're the 3 main compositions. I suppose I could come around a little bit more, but I'm not too bothered. As you can see in here, you can now start to see the internals of the boat itself. I'm not too bothered. I don't really care about that too much. Again, step over the groins. Again, if we came really up close here, you're getting the internals of the boat. It's not bad. It's not a bad shot. Oh, and actually, I don't dislike that. Again, if we just step back, just so, like I say, I've got to remember that my biggest gripe with the last shot was the boat was too high. I don't want the boat too high in the scene this time. I want it nice and low. Just about there. And if we come back here, so I think this is going to be our main composition. Yeah, if we have this as our main composition, this is the scene that I mainly came for. I think this is still very much my favourite. Then can you see? Hopefully you'll be able to see this leading. Hopefully you'll be able to see this leading chain, which is. Let's have a quick glance in. I'm just having a quick look. So of course you've got a lot of wave motion here in the background. Now hopefully I might need to stick a 8-stop ND filter on just to slow that down a smidge. I think what would be best to do is I'll now put the camera on a tripod, get the actual scene set up, and then if we need the ND, if we need the 8-stop filter, add that accordingly. So camera and tripod are set up, ready to go once again. Let me get the live view up and I'll talk you through the composition. Again, we've got a rule of thirds composition set up. If you watch most of my videos in the future, you'll probably see that I'll go with a rule of thirds setup. Over here on the right vertical, we've got the boat. nothing else. There's nothing else really in shot that matters in that regard. And then we've got the horizon again on the top vertical for a lovely amount of balance. We've got 3 leading lines. We've got the groins that take you into the sea, and then we've got the chain from the anchor and the path leading you into the boat. Nice and simple. Focus, I'm going to be focusing neatly on the boat. That's all that matters this shot. Everything else is probably going to be quite nice and soft. I do also have an 8-stop ND filter on the front. I want a nice slow shutter speed where possible, so that then we've got, of course, the waves coming in from the sea. I don't want that milky smooth water. I just want enough ripple to be seen, just so, of course, you kind of sense that movement coming in from the sea. So settings, let's give you a quick walkthrough. We're going ISO 100 at the moment. Again, we're on the tripod. ISO, shutter speed, none of that really matters. Like I say, what I want is a nice shutter speed to capture a nice amount of movement in the waves. We're going f16. I've cranked up a little bit higher just to get that nice, just so we get a nice slow shutter speed. If I have to bring that lower, if I have to adjust both the aperture and the ISO to get the right shutter speed, so be it. I'm only going to be taking the one shot as well this time. Like I said a moment ago, the sky is very clear. There's not too much going on in it at the moment. There's clouds I can just see actually just forming on the horizon, but yeah, they're not going to really matter too much here today. So just the one shot today. I'm not going to be focus bracketing, and I think it's just going to be a bit of trial and error until I get that right shutter speed. So if the image is any good, here it is on screen now. Aha, you thought you'd got rid of me, didn't you? You thought you were getting a one-shot image today and that would be it. No, I've come further along the beach here, where I came across some rocks and some groins. And what I'm loving here is the fact that the water, as the tide comes in, is creating these swirling patterns around the rocks here in the foreground. The tide is coming in fast, so I'm not going to be able to mess around and talk too much. Silver lining for you guys. I have got a 10-stop ND filter on. I'm not going to be able to get this longish exposure without any aids. So far, settings, of course, I've got to get the camera set up. I'm going to be shooting at a minimum at the moment already of ISO 400. I don't want the exposure too long. If I make the exposure too long, all I'm going to do is get milky, smooth water, and I don't want that in this case. Aperture is at f8, and already that gives me a shutter speed of 4 seconds. I might even have to raise the ISO to maybe even 1000, just to push the shutter down to about 1 second, 2 seconds, just to get the effect that I want. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get set up. This is going to take a good few attempts, so I'm not going to force you to sit through what I'm doing. But if the shot is any good, here it is now. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether it's the first video you've seen or whether you've seen both of my videos here on YouTube so far. Your support is amazing. It is truly appreciated. I'm going to sit here, enjoy the sunshine, Enjoy the sound of the tide as it slowly comes in. And I will see you again soon. Remember, there will be another Midweek Madness covering many more of the images taken today. So if you're curious, tune in for that. Keep an eye out. Till next time, take care. Have a good week.